Why 500 watts is the right size e-bike for most people. Stick around to find out. Hey everyone, I'm Dustin. I have nearly 20 years experience in the bike and e-bike industry. Today I'm going to tell you why 500 watts on an e-bike is the right power for most riders. Now, before we get into it, hit that subscribe button below. Stay in touch with us here at 630. Be the first to know about all the new content we're putting out, giveaways we're doing, and of course, new product releases. All right, right here, I've got the Every Journey 500 watt e-bike linked in the description if you want to check it out. And let's talk about why 500 watts is the right size e-bike for most people. Now, 750 watt is the legal e-bike motor size limit for most states in the United States. There are an exception where some states do allow 1,000 watts. I've done hundreds of test rides with all different types of riders, and I would say for most riders, 500 watts is enough power. Now, there are some exceptions to that rule, of course, both for a bigger motor and a smaller motor, and I'll get into those in a second. Now, 500 watts of power is pretty powerful. I mean, it can get you up to 20 miles an hour by just pushing a throttle, no problem at all. You can also go up to 28 miles an hour depending on the e-bike. With a fatter tire version, 500 watts won't be enough to get you up to 28, probably more around like 20, 21 miles an hour with a 500 watt. Now, again, also, what I've found with a lot of my test rides is 500 watts, not only is it enough power, but for a lot of riders, it feels like too much power because quite honestly, the throttle is responsive with 500 watts of power. The pedal assist is responsive as well. It gives you what you need for most type of flat ground, hard pack trail, and small hill riding. Now, let's get into the exceptions to that rule. If you are a rider over 200 pounds, also if you have very serious steep hills to contend with. Now, riders under 200 pounds, 500 watts will actually still be enough for steep hills, but if you're over 200 pounds and you're taking on big hills, you will most likely need 750 watts of power. Also, if you want to get a fat tire e-bike, and when I say fat tire, I'm talking about 3 inches or 4-inch wide tires. In those scenarios, you may want to look for 750 watt as well, especially if you're going to ride up a lot of hills because the extra rubber on the road is going to create a lot of drag, therefore needing a bigger motor. But for the average rider around town, communities, for errands, things like that, 500 watts is absolutely more than enough power, and getting anything in excess of that, in my opinion, is just unnecessary. I compare it to having an SUV but never going off-roading, right? Now, if you think there's a possibility you're gonna take on really steep hills, or maybe you wanna off-road, by all means opt for a 750 watt motor. And like I said, if you are over 200 pounds and you're doing hills, a 750 watt is probably the right choice for you. But if you're over 250, or over 200, under 250 pounds, a 500 watt for flat ground riding is still going to be enough. I'm 230 pounds. I can get most places just fine with a 500 watt motor. Now, there's also scenarios where I think less power is totally fine. Now, excuse me. I think most people like to opt for bigger if they can get bigger, but if you are a rider that has any fear about e-bikes, or you're scared of the power, or you've test rode an e-bike and it feels really zippy and responsiveness to the point where maybe it scares you a little bit, there's also 250 or 350 watt options. Actually, the Every Journey comes in a 250 watt option as well. And you're still gonna be able to go up to 20 miles an hour with a throttle. You're gonna have a little less power out of the gates, so on the takeoff, excuse me, which for a lot of people is actually a good thing. Makes them feel a little more safe. In addition to that, if you are just doing primarily flat ground, 250 watts is enough power, trust me. Also in the senior age group, if you're someone, again, that you don't need a lot of power, you're just riding around a little community, just to and from a store, short ranges, 250 is going to be enough, I promise you. So you've got riders that could opt for 250, you've got riders at 750, but I think the mid-range for most people, 500 watts, is really a good sweet spot. Excuse me. Now, if you have any thoughts, questions, or comments and think maybe that I'm wrong, go ahead and comment below, or reach out to us, the team at sixthreezero.com, or call us 310-982-2877. In addition to that, all these e-bikes are linked in the description. Our Every Journey 500 watt, which is a great e-bike for all recreational purposes and exercise as well. Check it out, it's linked in the description. In addition to that, we have free nationwide shipping, and we offer a 30-day test ride your e-bike policy. If you don't love it in the first 30 days, send it back, no questions asked, no money out of your pocket. In addition to that, we warranty everything for 1 year. Anything goes wrong in the first year, we take care of it, parts and labor. Also, we have a test ride location here in San Clemente, California, 1046 Calle Recodo Unit K. So if you are close by to us, come for a test ride, try out all of our e-bikes. And lastly, join our community. We have a Facebook group called 630 Pedalers with thousands of members in it. Join the group before you purchase to talk to existing riders to ensure you're making the right choice before you purchase. Then when you have yours, post in the group, make friends. And finally, download our app to track your rides and compete on the leaderboard. So thanks for sticking around, and don't forget, it's your journey or experience. Enjoy the ride.